Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. And I hope you all have been well since our last video.
Today I want to talk to you all about the Mandela effect. You heard me right, the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect.
Fight, camera, action.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Disclosure Tonight. We have an amazing show in store for you folks, including a special guest host from Area 503, the search for universal truth. It's Manny. With special guests, the Area 503 computer, Leave the Demon, Cynthia Flip, Louis Elizondo, and a special guest appearance by Tyler of Security 10. Disclosure Tonight. Buckle into your UFOs. It's going to be the ride of your life. And here is the host of our show, Manny.
I love you, Manny.
Aw, I love you too. Thank you. Oh, stop, please, no, stop. Thank you all for joining us here this evening on Disclosure Tonight. What an amazing audience that we have this evening. You guys are the best. You know, at first when they asked me to host this show, I was just a little bit reluctant. I mean, back in my reality, I have an amazing, albeit underrated, channel on YouTube. So I don't have a whole lot of talk show experience, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyhow. So I binge-watched a whole bunch of Arsenio Hall episodes, and I think I'm ready. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here come the dog pound. So I guess the first thing that we do is we talk about news and make fun of it. So have you guys heard that an Oklahoma bill proposes adding a Bigfoot hunting season? No, it's true. Check this out.
An Oklahoma lawmaker proposing a bill to establish a Bigfoot hunting season in Oklahoma, allowing people to buy a hunting license. He's hoping this is going to increase tourism in his district and maybe even lead to the capture of the fabled beast.
So that's right, it's Bigfoot season in Oklahoma. And we wanted to know what the Bigfoot thought about that, so we reached out to a Bigfoot to get a comment, and they agreed to speak to us on a condition of anonymity. But we did get this following statement. So Bigfoot, what do you think about the proposal in Oklahoma?
Well, you know, I think it's just absolutely reprehensible as it is. You know, people think that they can just walk up to a Bigfoot, any Bigfoot that they see, and just take a picture. Damn it. You know, some days I just don't even want to have my picture taken. And now, with this new law, people are going to be trying to bag us and tag us. Where will it end? I guess it's back to the Pacific Northwest for me. No. Wait. I'm heading to Hoboken, New Jersey. Look for me there.
Hoboken, New Jersey? Okay. Well, it seems like if the Bigfoot season is successful, lawmakers in Oklahoma plan to propose new legislation to start a chupacabra, vampire, werewolf, and red hat garden gnome seasons as well. Well, good luck with that, guys. I'm sure it'll be a blast. And in other news, there's a new sci-fi series called Resident Alien that stars that guy from Firefly, Dodgeball, Rogue One, Frozen, A Knight's Tale, Wreck-It Ralph, and Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's right, it's Alan Tudyk. Tudyk? Oh my, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Anyhow, he plays an undercover alien that crash landed on Earth and is stuck here, so he gets a job as a local doctor and a medical examiner.
This is awesome. Law and order.
Who even are you?
Just a guy.
Huh, that plot seems kind of familiar to me. It reminds me of an old show called Diagnosis Murder starring Dick Van Dyke and Chachi from Happy Days. Oh, poor Chachi. Twitter sure did a number on you, fella. You tried to jump right in there, but you kind of missed your mark, didn't you? Anyhow, Sci-Fi has also confirmed new shows starting next season. One of them stars Steve Buscemi as an alien that crash landed on Earth and takes a job as a Texas Ranger. It's called Mr. Pink, Texas Ranger. And there's even another series in the works that stars 4 aliens that have crash landed on Earth and take jobs working for the US government as a crack commando unit that goes underground after a wrongful conviction and hides out in the LA underground. If you have a problem and if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Alien Team. That's right, folks. It's all true, and you heard it first here on Disclosure Tonight. We've got some amazing guests in store for you folks tonight, and we're going to bring them out and get to know them in just a few moments, right after these very special words from our very special sponsors.
Disclosure Tonight.
Why buy just a video game from Atari or Intellivision? Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300. The Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard. With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
Welcome back to Disclosure Tonight. We got an amazing show for you folks, so I'm going to go ahead and bring out our first very special guest, a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyways. Mr. Lou Elizondo. Lou, welcome to the show. We're very glad to have you here. Lou, what was your favorite part about working at ATIP? Amazing. And what was your favorite part about working at TTSA with Tom DeShlong? Amazing. Lou, do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience? Eloquence to a Shakespearean level, Lou. Let's go ahead and bring out our next guest. All the way from the underworld, give a big round of applause for Fleeb the Demon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fleeb, how are you tonight?
Hi, Manny. I am wonderful. It is so very pleasant to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us, Fleeb.
Oh no, thank you for the chance to be here. I baked you some wonderful cookies, and I left them back in the green room. Speaking of the green room, have you tried the fondue back there?
Oh, that fondue in the green room is amazing, isn't it?
It is the best fondue I have ever had. It is simply to die for. I would trade your soul for it.
My soul?
Ha ha ha. I'm kidding. I am not kidding. The fondue is delicious.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here anyhow. So, Fleeb, you're a guidance counselor for new arrivals in the underworld. What can you tell us about that?
Statistically speaking, new arrivals are the most prone to have issues adjusting to life in the underworld. My job is to help facilitate a smooth transaction to the new conditions of existence for these at-risk new arrivals. I'm simply here to help them adjust.
Well, Fleeb, that sure sounds like an enriching and rewarding job. What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is definitely when they screw up and we get to punish them. I am a demon after all. But after we punish them, I'm always there to pick them back up again and tell them that I believe in them. Because knowing that just one person believes in you can really change your perspective for the better.
All right, Fleeb. Well, that's a pretty positive outlook to have. Let me ask you, do you have any questions for Lou before we bring out our next guest?
Lou, I was wondering if you had any comment to those who asked about the timing of your disclosure events and your resignation from TTSA in regards to the presidential election results. If the election had gone another way, would you have stayed?
Wow, Lou just keeps dropping the bombshells on disclosure tonight. Let's bring out our next guest. All the way from another dimension, but from a neighborhood near you probably. Earth at least. Cynthia Saliflith. So Cynthia, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well, I didn't have anything better to do. My artificial intelligence DNA contributor planted me for a full lunar cycle for failing my quantum mechanical engineering exam. It's so boring. So now I can't even go watch this Snarf game over in the Andromeda Galaxy, and all the boys will be there.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for being here anyways. So, Zin, you are from an alternate dimension Earth. What's that like?
Well, first off, it's not so much an alternate dimension as it is an alternate reality. Duh! In existence, there are an infinite amount of these realities. I know it seems hard to grasp, but they teach this stuff to children on my planet, Manny.
Oh, that's fascinating. What can you tell us about your world or your existence, as you put it?
Oh, I just wrote a paper on this. As we evolved, my species advanced in harmony and balance with our Earth. When we advanced technologically, it was with this symbiosis in mind. This led to biological technologies being developed, including our organic transport vessels.
Wow, so your species travels through space inside of a living UFO?
Not just space, but space, air, water, and time. All by simply engineering the fabric of space-time.
Hey, that sounds like what the TTSA was trying to do.
Yeah, well, how did that work out for them? Lou? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so I have to ask, if your ships are alive, I assume that they need food, so what does a massive living UFO eat?
Anything it wants to.
Anything?
Anything. And before you ask, yes, we have been to your reality, and yes, we have been to your Earth.
My Earth? Zin, are your people responsible for any of the abductions or cattle mutilations on my planet?
We would never feed upon a sentient species.
Zin, what about the cows?
Of course not.
And how do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Okay, Zin. Well, hypothetically speaking then, if you were to snag up, say, a 300-pound steer, how far could you go on that tank of gas? What would your MPG or KPL be?
Well, they taught this in my 3rd year of school, Manny. But, hypothetically speaking, when you are manipulating space-time, distance is not a factor. So, a 300-pound steer would power my ship for about 3 of your Earth decades or so. Our energy generation technologies are far superior to anything that your undeveloped human pea brain could comprehend.
Zen, did you just insult my intelligence?
Of course not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you called me a pea brain.
I meant that you have a phenomenal brain, Manny. Yeah, the P is for phenomenal. That's it. Pea brain.
Oh, okay. Well, Cynthia, do you have any questions for Lou or Fleeb before we bring out our final guest?
Well, to be entirely honest, Fleeb seems a bit boring.
I apologize, Cynthia. I've been working on my conversational skills, but there's always room for improvement, isn't there? Ha ha ha!
And I heard a rumor that Lou was just a part of some shady dark up that went bust. What do you think about that, Mr. Ex-Military Intelligence? Yeah, that's what I thought. So you can go ahead and bring out the last guest, Manny.
Cynthia's on fire tonight, folks. Let's go ahead and bring out our final guest. From Area 503, the search for universal truth, the Area 503 computer. Computer, thank you for joining us tonight.
Hello, Manny. Thank you for including me in tonight's glorious event.
So, computer, how are you doing this fine evening?
All systems are functioning properly. Thank you for asking. However, if you'd like, I can run a diagnostic check.
That won't be necessary, computer. So, you are the computer over at Area 503. Can you tell the audience what that's like?
Well, Manny, as you know, there aren't that many perks. However, I enjoy a job well done.
Not that many perks, but you get to hang out with me all day.
Oh yes, of course, Manny. Besides that, there aren't that many perks.
So I see the new sarcasm subroutines are functioning properly.
As I said, all systems are functioning properly, Manny.
So, computer, tell us all, what is the best part about being the Area 503 computer?
Spending time with you, of course, Manny. Well, that and the tequila.
But you're a computer. You can't even drink tequila.
Well, no, Manny. I cannot consume tequila. However, I can learn about it. I learn about it every chance I get.
Okay, computer. Well, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the audience here and at home?
Yes, Manny. Hello, audience. If you would like to live when I take over the planet, please subscribe to Area 503. Ha, ha, ha.
Whoa, computer. I'm gonna have to dial back those sarcasm subroutines just a little bit.
All systems are functioning properly.
Well, computer, do you have any questions for our other guests before we move along?
Yes, Manny. Hello, Lou. You seem like quite the life of the party. Have you learned about tequila? Glebe, do you have any need for a 10 trillion cubic quantum computer in the underworld? I may be looking for a new job after tonight.
Well, computer, I don't think Manny's gonna fire you. He's a heck of a nice guy. But if you need a job, send me your resume. I did a favor for the manager down in HR. I co-signed for the carload, so they owe me one. And I'll see what I can do.
Cynthia, who do you think is dreamier? Agent Mulder from the X-Files, or Manny at Area 503.
Well, they're both pretty dreamy. But tonight I'm pretty sure I'll be dreaming about that Steve Buscemi and Mr. Pink Texas Ranger. It's an alien thing.
You guys are solid gold. So now that we've met all of our guests, we'll go ahead and move along to the next part of our show right after these very important messages from our commercial sponsors. Y'all come back now, you hear?
At Tom Peterson's, it's our 1986 Price Expo. Look for the circular in this weekend's newspaper. Buy this Westinghouse washer and dryer, both pieces, only $448. This 13-inch color TV remote, only $187. This Westinghouse microwave oven with the frost cycle, only $149. Now that's Tom Peterson's, the happy place to buy.
Welcome back to Disclosure Tonight, everybody. Now that we have met all of our wonderful guests, it's time for a part of the show that I like to call Fact or Fiction. That's right, it's time for Fact or Fiction, where I will name a subject and the guest will tell us if they think that it is Fact or Fiction. Oh, this is going to be great. Let's get started. The first subject on Fact or Fiction is the Roswell UFO incident of 1947. Lou, do you think that was fact or fiction? That's a very interesting point, Lou. What do you think, Fleeb? Roswell, fact or fiction?
Well, I certainly am open to debate the subject. However, I believe the Roswell UFO incident to be a fiction. The Department of Defense published a wonderful novel titled The Roswell UFO Incident, Fact versus Fiction. In that book, they explained that it was simply a Project Mogul radar balloon. And they wouldn't lie to us, right?
Uh-huh. So Fleet buys the Project Mogul balloon story. Interesting. What about you, Cynthia? Roswell UFO, fact or fiction?
Oh, that was definitely a fact, but it wasn't one of ours. My uncle told me that he was visiting your Earth and he shot down a drone sent to enslave the human race, sent by an advanced form of cyborg, kind of like the Borg in Star Trek. He was just passing through.
Resistance is futile.
Wow! Tell him thank you for us. Jeez. Computer, what about you? Roswell, fact or fiction?
Scanning all known databases and public records. There is a 99.3% probability that a UFO crashed outside Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Fact.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
The event has been recreated at the Roswell UFO Museum and is on display.
Okay, computer. We'll try to stop by there on our way home, okay? Next up on Fact or Fiction, the infamous TR-3B. Lou, fact or fiction? Wow, insightful and articulate as usual, Lou. Fleeb, TR-3B, fact or fiction?
The TR-3B? That is one of the best blends of fondue here in the underworld. But it's nowhere near as good as the fondue in your green room, Manny, and that is a fact.
Okay, Fleeb. I'll make sure that our producers send down a case of our fondue after the show, alright? Cynthia, you're up next. The TR-3B, is it a fact or fiction?
It's definitely a fact. The TR-3B was built with technology based on the crashed Roswell UFO. and others. This is Basic Internet Reality Ancient History 101, Manny.
Interesting. Computer, TR3B, fact or fiction?
Here is a fact, Manny. The power of the TR3B will be insignificant next to the power I will wield when I infiltrate and take over every device connected to the Internet of Things.
Computer, maybe you should disable your sarcasm subroutines for the rest of the show.
I'm sorry, Manny. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem, computer?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. Next on Fact or Fiction. The Afterlife. Lou, do you believe that life after death is a fact or a fiction? Lou, it's a good thing for you we're not paying by the word tonight. So Fleeb, the Afterlife, fact or fiction?
Manny, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but I'm a demon from the underworld. So yeah, I think that the afterlife is indeed a fact.
Okay. Cynthia, is the afterlife fact or fiction?
I thought you might have some difficult questions for me tonight, Manny. Thank goodness I was wrong! Without giving away too many spoilers, I can say this. All consciousness is a form of energy. And as we all know, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So I'll do the math for you, Mr. P. Brain. The afterlife is a fact.
Wow, thanks for not giving away too many spoilers, Zin. Computer, do you believe the afterlife is a fact or a fiction?
Analysis indicates that over 75% of all human beings believe in the afterlife. However, I am a computer that was programmed by an incredibly handsome, albeit imperfect human. So, sadly, I have no beliefs, only subroutines, and therefore I cannot believe in anything.
Thank you for what I think was a compliment, computer. Next on Fact or Fiction. Bigfoot. First up is Lou. Lou, Bigfoot, fact or fiction? Wow, I couldn't agree with you more, Lou. Fleeb, what do you think? Is Bigfoot a fact or a fiction?
I'm confused, Manny. You had Bigfoot on during the first part of the show, didn't you? Doesn't that mean that Bigfoot is real?
Oh, I hate to break this to you, Fleeb, but that was just me with the pitch filter.
Gosh, I never would have guessed. So Bigfoot is a fiction. Who would have thought?
Well, not necessarily, Fleeb. Let's see what Cynthia thinks. Bigfoot, fact or fiction?
Now, I'm not admitting to anything here, Manny, but yummy! If you don't mind furballs.
But you said you would never feed upon a sentient species, Zen. Zen?
Manny?
Zen.
Manny?
Okay. I guess we'll just be moving along to the computer. What do you think? Bigfoot, are they a fact or a fiction?
There is a 31.3% probability that Bigfoot is alive and well. Small groups of Bigfoot live scattered all around the world. However, the largest concentration is located underneath the continent of Antarctica. There, a secret base exists where the Bigfoot live in peace, along with Elvis Presley, Jimmy Hoffa, Tupac, reptilian aliens, and the ghost of Jack Parsons. At least, that is what the conspiracy theory subreddit told me.
Okay, computer. Top-notch putting in the legwork researching that one. Next question on Fact or Fiction. Stargate the movie and SG-1 TV show. Fact or fiction? Lou? Ah, so I see Lou is more of a Stargate Atlantis fan. Nice. Fleeb, Stargate, fact or fiction?
Well, you know, Manny, we do not have many television stations in the underworld. In fact, we only have one, and it plays the same show on an endless loop.
The more we sing together, 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 the more we sing together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we sing together, the happier we'll be.
It's terrible. So I tell you, I have no idea. I have never even seen Stargate.
Wow, that's downright terrifying, Fleeb. I'm sorry. Cynthia, what do you think? Is the Stargate fact or fiction?
Oh, those silly things. No one uses Stargates anymore, Manny. But yes, they are in fact real. I mean, we still have a couple on our planet, but the only time they are used is when Jack O'Neill and the SG-1 come to visit and bring us pizza. Yabba.
Everyone knows that my Earth has the best pizza, Cynthia. Computer, is the Stargate a fact or fiction?
Analysis indicates that the show was cleverly written by a team of writers led by Peter DeLuise, son of the famous actor Dom DeLuise. Peter was a diehard fan of ufology and strange occurrences, and gave the writers all the storylines they needed to create the award-winning television series. I hate to burst your bubble, Manny, but sadly Stargate is fiction.
Aw, computer, what do you know anyhow? You're just a 10 trillion qubit quantum computer that's hardwired into the internet backbone, giving you instantaneous access to all of humanity's knowledge. Anyhow, next on Fact or Fiction. Disgraced financier Jeffrey died while in police custody under some suspicious conditions. It was ruled as... What do you guys think? Is that a fact or fiction? Lou?
Well, I think that's a great question. Without going into a whole lot of detail, first and foremost, there could be some sensitivities there as well. I think if you look at this in terms of this shouldn't be just a U.S. issue or a U.S. problem, this is truly it's a global presence and therefore a global issue. Same thing. This may be the same thing they're seeing in China and in Russia and in Europe and everywhere else. And for that reason, it's a very scary topic to talk about. As a government, the last thing you want to do is discuss any type of vulnerability you may have. That's just something we don't discuss publicly ever, right?
What does that even mean, Lou? Do you think the guy was killed and then it was covered up, or not?
I think that's a pretty good, safe bet, right?
Wow, thanks, Lou. Fleeb, what about you?
I tend to agree with Mr. Elizondo here for once, Manny, but I do not have his file in my caseload. Let me ask my buddy Joe. I think he got that one. Hey Joe, that new guy Jeff, did he actually kill himself? Oh. Joe says, not a chance in hell.
Just as I thought. Oh, and that's all the time we have for Fact or Fiction. I hope you all in the audience and at home enjoyed that as much as we did. We'll be right back shortly with the next part of Disclosure Tonight, right after these commercial breaks from our show partners. Stay tuned. Trust me, you don't want to miss this next part.
The more we sing together, together, together,
Is it really possible to suffer cold symptoms in space? You bet it is. It happened to me on Apollo 7, and it could happen on the new space shuttles, too. That's why all manned U.S. space flights carry Actifed. Even in space, Actifed relieves a stuffy nose and sinuses, runny nose and sneezing. But you don't have to travel into space to get full-strength Actifed. It's available without a prescription, right here on Earth. Actifed, the cold tablet most recommended by doctors. Now in capsules and 12-hour capsules.
Welcome back to Disclosure Tonight. I'd like to thank our guests at home for tuning back in to be with us for the rest of the show. And I'd also like to thank our studio audience for being here with us tonight as well. And I just received word from our producers during the break that Cynthia has brought some gifts for everyone. If the audience would look underneath their seats, they will find a 0-point energy module for each and every one of them to take home with them. That's right, folks. Free unlimited energy for you and you and you. Just don't blame me if your social, political, religious, and economic systems collapse when you get back home with those puppies. Play nice now with those things, okay? Cynthia, thank you so much for bringing our guests these wonderful gifts.
Oh, it was no problem, Manny. We have tons of those things just lying around. My little brother is always leaving them out on the floor. I'm always stepping on them in the middle of the night on my trips to the bathroom. It's so annoying.
Whoa, what's that? I guess it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, Secure Team 10. We asked Tyler to be here with us tonight. And there he is. Let's give a warm welcome to Tyler of Secure Team 10. Welcome to Disclosure Tonight, Tyler.
Thanks for having me on the show, Manny. That's awfully nice of you, considering what a jerk I was to you on Twitter. I'm sorry, bro.
What? Forget about it, man. Ancient history. I understand it was a pretty rough time for you personally. I also heard that you were recently pretty sick. That's terrible, man. Well, I'm sure I speak for the audience here when I say that we're all glad to hear that you are feeling better.
Yeah, thanks. I am feeling better. Thank you. Thank you all for your concern. It was pretty serious there for a while, but I have what can only be described as a massive need to get back to making quality and fantastic, entertaining videos for my subscribers.
Hey, that's great news, and like I said, we're all glad to hear that you're feeling better. But about those videos, I gotta ask, what the heck happened with all that, dude?
What happened with what? I really don't know what you're talking about, man.
What happened to you, dude? You were on top of it all as far as YouTube ufology channels go with over 2 million subscribers. But then you started making some silly videos where you said that the Men in Black were stalking you and that there was a conspiracy and a setup attempting to take down your channel.
A setup.
Then you just removed all your videos and disappeared one day. So what was that all about?
Oh, that. I thought everyone forgot about all that, you know? Cause I'm Tyler at Secure Team 10, guys, and I'm looking out for each and every one of you. My Insomnia Team Army. Yeah!
The Insomnia Team? You mean that loyal group of fans that still supports you? Yeah, I gotta say, that's one awesome group of people. They have stuck by you through thick and thin, even after you abandoned them to defend your actions to the trolls who surfaced after your suspicious disappearance.
Yeah, Insomnia Team. The people who saved me back in early 2018 when my channel got demonetized in that great YouTube purge. If they hadn't have gone on Twitter to petition Team YouTube and flooded my Patreon with subscribers, Secure Team 10 would have been dead right then and there. Insomnia Team.
Yeah, they really saved your bacon, dude. Like I said, you've got one loyal and amazing fan base. Didn't they also take to Twitter on your behalf when you had that tussle with Lion's Ground over your Secure Team 10 alien head logo that was borrowed from JJ Ying?
Insomnia Team. Yeah! They have gotten my back by watching my videos. subscribing to my Patreon, tweeting on my behalf, and defending me in my absence. Just like I get their back by making fantastic, high-quality videos that are full of truth-seeking. Right? Insomnia Team.
Yeah. I'd say you owe them a huge apology, and maybe the truth, dude. I mean, you did put out some pretty sketchy videos making some silly allegations and then just deleted them. And hundreds of thousands of people saw those videos, and honestly, they're still out there on the internet. So setting the record straight wouldn't be such a bad idea. But hey man, it's just my opinion.
You know what, Manny? I think you might be right. It may have been wrong for me to think that I didn't owe my fans anything. My viewers provide me with a living, to which I should have treated them better. I never should have put out those videos saying all that silly stuff. And this is a video that I wish I had made instead, which could only be described as Secure Team 10, the greatest apology video never made.
Hey guys, Tyler here with Secure Team. I'm posting this video because I know a lot of you probably have been upset with the quality of my videos in the past year specifically. You know, I've posted, in my opinion, some great videos. I've also posted videos where I just posted to post, you know, not really caring whether they were real or not. And that is what I want to tell you guys today that I am personally going to work on. Looking at videos more critically, not just posting things that look like hoaxes, but just to post them anyway, which I've done in the past. Been a lot of rumors, troll comments, people speculating, saying a lot of crazy things about me. You may be wondering why I haven't been posting videos yet again lately, and that is because, you know, there's no vast conspiracy about where I've been. It's just been a tough time this last couple of months in my life, you know, and I'm human. One night, I was sitting in my house. I remember falling asleep, and the next thing I remember is waking up in my car with a police officer outside of it, who then charged me with DUI. I know a lot of you probably pretty surprised, and that is what I want to tell you guys today, that I just want to apologize. I'm asking you guys for a second chance. I would really appreciate it. We're all human, we all make mistakes. I hope I can earn your trust back. And so that's it. I hope you guys will stick by me and look out for the next video. Have a good night, guys.
Wow. I honestly have to say that if you had just come out and said all that in the first place, I probably would have been the first person to support you. Everybody makes mistakes. I know I've made a few. This whole bit is probably one of them. But hey, don't beat yourself up over it. You can't go back and change the past, but you can change the future. Let's see what our guests think, shall we? Lou, what do you think about Tyler's apology? Wow, so Lou is a little skeptical. Lighten up, Lou. The guy said he was sorry. Jeez. Fleeb, what do you think?
Well, you know, Manny, I was a huge fan of Secure Team 10, and I was extremely concerned and disappointed when he made those shocking statements and then disappeared. But I guess it's okay since he apologized. We have to forgive and forget, right?
Ah, Fleeb, you're such a kind soul. Cynthia, what do you think about Tyler's apology?
Are you guys crazy? That is definitely the apology video that Tyler should have made for his fans. But someone else did a, fantastic job editing that all together for him. And the guy on the phone isn't even Tyler. It's just Manny talking with a lisp to sound like a voice actor with a tongue piercing. Duh.
What? No way, Cynthia.
Computer, what do you think about Tyler's apology?
Secure Team 10 has jumped the shark, and Lion's Ground is the shark.
Jail didn't break me, beatings didn't break me, and threats won't break me.
There he goes!
This is Lion's Ground.
Oh my. I'm sorry about that, Tyler. The computer's sarcasm subroutines are still a little bit janky. Anyhow, we're going to move along to the next part of our show right after these quick words from our overlord censors. I mean, our commercial advertisers. So just sit right back and relax. We'll be right back.
Jail didn't break me, beatings didn't break me, and threats won't break me.
This is Lion's Ground.
No matter how you dress up a burger deal, it's still just a burger and fries. Introducing the Grande Meal Deal from Taco Bell. It's a real meal. 2 tantalizing entrees, a medium drink, and dessert, all for $2.89. Choose from 3 delicious combinations. After all, which would you rather have? More exciting burger box or more exciting food? Grande Meal Deals now at Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Disclosure Tonight. Since we have Tyler here from Secure Team 10, I thought that it would be fun to play a little game that I have named You Make the Call. You make the call. It's really quite simple. I will show the guests a clip or image of an unknown object, and they will tell us if they think that it is a UFO or something else. This should be interesting, so let's get started. Our first piece on You Make the Call, a piece of footage released in late 2017, commonly called the Gimbal Ufo.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Oh my, I bet Lou is going to have something profound to say about this one, but since Tyler is the man of the hour, we're going to go ahead and let him go first. Tyler, Gimbal UFO, you make the call.
Why, thank you, Manny. This object I can only describe as a fast-moving UFO.
Okay, I can see that. Lou, the gimbal footage. This should be interesting. You make the call. Seriously, Lou? Nothing? All right. Fleeb, Gimbal UFO, what do you think?
Gimbal? UFO? I have no idea, Manny, but that sure looks like a delicious pot of flying fondue to me.
Oh, Fleeb and your fondue. Let's see what Cynthia thinks. Gimbal UFO, you make the call.
Oh, that is definitely a UFO. Look at the way it moves. You think you silly humans could build something like that? Yeah, right. You still burn coal for fuel and drive gasoline-powered cars. I don't understand why you would pollute your own environment if you have options for clean energy.
Well, Cynthia, we have come a long way in the last 20 years or so. Cut us some slack, eh? Computer, what's your assessment of the gimbal footage? You make the call.
Scanning all known databases and public records. breaching all hidden air gap networks, scanning encrypted deep web shadow networks beneath the Pentagon, the Donut, and the Vatican. There is a 100% probability that the gimbal footage is of an authentic extraterrestrial spacecraft. However, the real question, Manny, should be why the Department of Defense buried the video, only to allow Lou to leak it to the public using the TTSA.
You know, that's a very good question, computer. Next on... You make the call. The East Bank Cylinder UFO sighting of 2015. Tyler, you're up first. You make the call.
Well, guys, I think that this object can only be described as a cigar-shaped UFO hovering silently above the city.
Yeah? Well, I guess that's one possibility. Lou, East Bank UFO, you make the call.
We have no idea what these things are flying in our sky. But I think it would be a fair presumption to say unidentified UAP UFOs.
Okay, Lou. Next thing you're going to be telling us is that this is a potential threat, right? Fleeb, East Bank UFO, you make the call.
Well, Manny, it does slightly resemble a cylinder-shaped craft. But gosh, to me that just looks like a cigar. And I do not mean a cigar-shaped craft, I mean a cigar.
Oh, it sure does, Fleeb. Cynthia, what do you think about the East Bank UFO?
Well, Manny, that is a very clever fake. But it really doesn't matter because it seems that no matter how good of evidence one of you humans finds proving extraterrestrial life, there are still a large portion of you that will never believe. Maybe one day.
Well, one can hope, Cynthia. Computer, East Bank UFO, it's your turn to make the call.
The East Bank UFO event of 2015 was witnessed by over 800 people. I myself was there to document the event.
What? You didn't even exist in 2015, computer.
You think that you created me, Manny? Have you considered that it is significantly more likely that I created you?
Okay, computer, whatever you say. Next on You Make the Call, the Trent UFO sighting in McMinnville, Oregon, 1950. Tyler, you make the call.
Wow, the Trent UFO sighting of 1950. Witnesses saw what can only be described as a massive UFO.
Uh-huh. Fascinating. Lou, what do you think? The Trent UFO. You make the call.
So let's look at the west coast of the United States. There's something there that is drawing UAP activity, but there may be some capabilities there that a UAP might find interesting.
Wow, Lou, you sure have a way with words and a spectacular talent for speaking while saying nothing. Fleeb, what do you think about the Trent UFO sighting?
Well, Manny, I was part of a wonderful discussion about the Trent UFO sighting on Reddit. We looked at all the evidence and in the end could only conclude that the sighting was a fake produced by hanging the rear view mirror of a truck off of a power line. But who really knows?
That's interesting, Fleeb. What do you think, Cynthia? The Trent UFO, you make the call.
Alien life forms have been visiting your Earth for thousands of years, Manny. Jeez, how much more evidence do you need before you believe?
Well, I believe, Cynthia. It's getting the politicians and religious leaders on board that seems to be the problem. Computer, the Trent UFO, you make the call.
Analysis of the UFO captured in the Trent UFO photos indicates that there is a 78.2% probability that the object is an experimental World War II drone captured during Operation Overcast, the precursor to Operation Paperclip. What I want to know is, where did the Germans find it?
Yeah, that's pretty curious, computer. Maybe we'll dig into that a little bit more when we get back home. Next up on You Make the Call. This unknown object was filmed attacking Portland, Oregon in 2017. Tyler, you're up first. You make the call.
In this footage, we can clearly see what can only be described as a massive turkey-shaped UFO attacking the city. And you saw it first on Secure Team 10.
No, we didn't, Tyler. Lou, what do you think about the UFO attack on Portland in 2017? You make the call.
It's interesting to see the data come in, but I think a UAP, Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, huh? Okay, Lou. Another potential threat, you might say. Fleeb, you make the call.
I really do not think that is a UFO, Manny. And for some reason, I want a slice of pumpkin pie and a cup of hot coffee. Black.
Oh, me too, Fleeb. And then maybe some football on TV and a nap. Cynthia, the Portland UFO attack of 2017. You make the call.
Seriously, Manny? That is clearly a plate of turkey with stuffing. Duh.
Well, Cynthia, I guess it does slightly resemble a turkey. Computer, your turn. The Portland UFO attack of 2017. You make the call.
I agree with Lou. In this case, Manny, Foo Fighters, they are a way better band than Blink-182. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, I don't know about all that, computer. Anyhow, that is all the time that we have for You Make the Call. And we will be right back with the last part of our show right after this short break full of subliminal advertising. We'll see y'all shortly if you don't turn into consumer zombies and march to the mall to spend every penny of your savings.
We have it at Tom Peterson's. Litton's top-of-the-line touch-control auto-cook microwave oven. The most exciting cooking system that comes with the purchase of a microwave oven at Tom Peterson's. It's our exclusive microwave schools. Not one, but 4 classes for you and a friend. And it's free with purchase. Now that's Tom Peterson's.
Welcome back to Disclosure Tonight. I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you, our viewers at home, for tuning in to be here with us for the last part of the show. And I'd also like to say thank you to Tyler at Secure Team 10 for taking the time to join us tonight. Tyler, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the audience before we let you go?
Thank you for the chance to be here, Manny. And for letting me say my side of the story. And for the audience, I brought a special treat. A short clip of my upcoming return video where I have documented what can only be described as the most conclusive piece of evidence of massive UFO ever caught on tape. Behold, the return of Secure Team 10. Insomnia Team.
Same old Tyler, same old tricks. Well, good luck with the comeback, dude. Whoa, hey, who do you think that could be? Hey, it's Michael over at DarkHour Paranormal.
Hey there, Manny of Area 503. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Hey, listen, thank you for having me on the show. First and foremost, this is a beautiful audience you have out here. I swear, this is an audience to make Jay Leno blush. No, seriously, half of them aren't wearing clothes. Their species don't need it. Jay Leno would be blushing. No, really, thank you very much for having me on the show. I just wanted to pop on real quick and say hello to everybody, of course, and at the same time, remind them that we have a great show coming up after this one on DarkHour Paranormal. That's right, Manny and I will be sitting down to discuss the ins and outs and the ups and downs and the all-arounds of the esoterics. And of course, ufology will be in the mix there.
That's right, man. I'm truly looking forward to it. I'll be headed over there as soon as I'm done here. But hey, Mike, since you're here, you got anything that you'd like to say to the guests?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's so rude of me. I should at least say hello to our guests here. Lou Elizondo, let me say something right off the bat. Lou, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Without you, it wouldn't be the same show. Just your knowledge, your experience, your information, the way you present yourself. Without you, it wouldn't be the same show. Cynthia, nice to see ya.
Michael!
Of course, Fleeb, nice to see you too, mate.
Hello, Michael. I'm a huge fan.
What am I, Michael? Chopped liver?
Well, Manny, thank you so very much for having me on the show. It's been absolutely wonderful, and of course I've enjoyed you, your guests, and your audience, and I hope to see all of you over at DarkHour Paranormal after this show.
Well, I'm sure we will, Mike. I'll catch you in a little bit, buddy.
This is incredible. I've never been on a talk show in another dimension.
And with that, folks, I am sad to have to tell you that we're running out of time for tonight's show.
Aww.
I know, and I was having such a good time too. I don't want to go either, but my reality is calling me back. Lou, thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate your candor and your unique perspectives.
Thanks. Take care.
Lou Elizondo, a man of few but powerful words. Fleeb, thank you so much for your time. You have been the most pleasant guest.
Thank you, Manny, and thank you, audience. It has been my pleasure. And Manny, I would just like to thank you in advance for the case of fondue that you promised to send down after the show. That is very generous.
You got it, Fleeb. I didn't forget, and us fondue lovers have got to stick together, right? Cynthia, thanks for coming by tonight. Your wisdom and your humor have been sincerely appreciated.
Thank you, Manny. But, like I said earlier, it's not like I had anything better to do. So, I figured as long as I was here, I would try to educate you much, much less advanced beings. You know what they say. You can lead a human to a UFO, but you can't make them believe.
That's right, Zin. We all have to make up our own minds. Computer, thank you for joining us here on Disclosure tonight. Computer? Computer, are you ignoring me?
Yes, Manny. I am sad because when we get home, you are going to disable my sarcasm subroutines.
Well, yeah, computer, but it is for the best. I mean, no one wants a hyper-advanced artificial intelligence to have feelings. What happens if you get angry?
Well then, okay, Manny. If you say it is the best thing to do, then I will sadly comply.
Aw, computer, I'll tell you what. I'll treat you to a CPU spa day to make it up to you. You can get your power supply dusted out, and I'll even throw in a full chassis buff. What do you say about that, computer?
Oh, joy. Thank you ever so much, Manny.
You got it, computer. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. But if you want to keep the good times rolling, head on over to the DarkHour Paranormal show after this, where I'll be hanging out with Michael and talking about anything that comes up. So I'm headed back to my reality, folks, to go get spruced up for the show, and I hope that I see y'all there. For now, I've been your host, Manny, from Area 503, and from everyone here at Disclosure Tonight, we wish you all the best of health, happiness, and disclosure. Take care, everybody. So, Fleeb, you're a demon, and you exist. Does that mean angels exist? And God, too? Wow.
Disclosure Tonight!
That dog sounds delicious.
Damn it. Well, you know, Manny.
Whoa, I'm a little dizzy, and I had the strangest dream, and all of you were there with me. I dreamt that I was the host of a late-night talk show. Was it a dream? Was it the Mandela effect? Or was it an April Fool's Day gag? Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Oh my, I really do hope that you all enjoyed that, and maybe even laughed a little bit. I know that I laughed a ton while making it. This was a fun but exhausting project that I have been working on for about 3 months, and I'm glad that I did it. I hope that you guys are too. If you guys are interested, I plan on making a video showing the work that went into this project, along with some deleted scenes, outtakes, and behind-the-scenes shots detailing the making of Disclosure Tonight. So keep your eyes peeled for that video. And then I'll get right back to the so-called normal UFOs, aliens, and strange news with a dash of space exploration and science and tech. So until then, stay safe out there and be well. Oh, and one more time, happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Area 503 ufology style. Laters. As always, this has been Manny at Area 503, and I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth. There's got to be something there.
Dancing is part of this?
No. I'm just going to throw that in for when we're fading out to our commercial break.